Well, Luke's our first ever guest. I'm sorry, did you want to do an intro?
I don't know. Did I?
Fuck it.
Bring
Go ahead.
Bring me in well.
Getting steamrolled. Welcome to the Sometimes We podcast, a podcast where sometimes we do stuff. And here's Luke. You may recognize that there's someone else here that wasn't there last time or isn't always here, but he's here now. And we're really happy to have him. Give it up for Luke, everybody.
So, dude.
Luke is producing our upcoming album, EP, whatever you want to call it. And we're super stoked. We just finished a pre-production session. And we're going over drums and shit for our upcoming music release. So Luke actually was was a full-time member of the band back in 2019.
Before they kicked me out.
And we had to kick him out. So he's luckily, there was no hard feelings and he's back, and we're here to talk about whatever. What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, I've learned a lot since getting kicked out is you just don't run around practice naked anymore. And
That was part of it.
yeah.
Was there any nudity in our band, or was that just a joke that went over my head?
It was a joke that went over your head.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I was trying to make it seem a lot worse than what actually happened.
Yeah. If we're gonna figure out like a VIP section, and we'll let you know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And
Stay tuned.
yeah, we could even put like a survey up if people think it's like racism or like violence or racist violence, running around naked while doing violent racist stuff.
Words being said.
Words.
That's a question I have. Speaking of nudity, to kick this off, you know how in beer pong, if you were to get skunked, which means like for anybody that's never played beer pong before, you just don't make a single cup. Mm-hmm. The general rule of thumb is like, okay, well, you got to run around the house naked.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Maybe it's an East Coast thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Luke's from my hometown, by the way, more or less.
Virginia represent.
That's right.
703.
But has anybody ever made you follow through on that?
No, I've never seen anyone actually follow through on that.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds made up, but I'd believe it. It sounds like believable, so that's the best kind of made up stuff.
I've seen one person do boxers, but I'm like, it's kind of lame.
Well, why are you even doing it then?
Yeah.
You know? You gotta go whole hog.
And
Get your
then, like,
whole hog out.
I remember one party, they were like, oh, you just have to sit under the table for the next game. Like, it's just kind of stupid.
Oh, I think that I've played with that rule of like, you're the troll. Because it's usually they're so drunk that they like kind of like just
Bump
go
the
under there. Yeah. This is, it's great to have a guest on the pod. This is fun.
Glad to be here.
Changing up the whole dynamic. Yeah. So let's
make it funny for a change.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I don't have a beer because I'm doing dry January. You guys ever done dry January before? What are your thoughts?
Well, we kind of talked about it earlier, but like,
Yeah.
it's my birthday month, so I'm not gonna not drink on my birthday.
Yeah. That's fair.
I've done 2 dry Julys. This is so dumb. This is like the dumbest fucking month to like not drink alcohol.
In the middle of the summer.
4th of July.
Well, okay, so my dry July is usually the day after 4th of July into like the 4th or the 5th of August.
Okay.
Mostly dry July.
I've done a sober October before,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
and that was fun.
What is the difference? Like no smoking weed or...
No, I just didn't drink, but
Yeah.
well, actually, I don't smoke weed anyway, so yeah, I guess it was all of it.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of ice cream in my dry July this past year.
Really?
A lot.
July's a good month to eat ice cream.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I had to have some sort of a vice. I was losing it. And I had stopped vaping at that time too. So no vaping, no drinking. It was just
ice cream.
Tubs of ice cream.
What's your favorite flavor?
I actually stumbled across a new flavor for me, but I found out it's a pretty well-known one. I like the strawberry cheesecake from Ben & Jerry's. It's a good one.
I've never tried that one.
I was always the kid that was never like... you know how like when they like split up soccer teams or whatever, they'd say like, all right, who likes chocolate ice cream and who likes vanilla ice cream? I'd always side with the vanilla side.
Yeah.
I like strawberry.
You should be like, you're fucking kicked out. You're not.
If you like strawberry, you're
You
the
can't play. Fucking weirdo.
It's like I like turtle kids. Just like, I like strawberries.
You have to be the referee if you like
Yeah.
strawberries, because there's only one weirdo. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite flavor of vape?
I don't know. I don't vape anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite, I have a kind of a timeline of my favorite vapes. I liked Lychee by the Puffs brand was like my go-to.
I feel like I found a bunch of old vapes that I threw out the other day, and you can still kind of like smell what it used to taste like, and it just was such like a sense memory of like the pandemic has just started.
Yep.
What's happening?
Take me back.
Yeah.
All I was doing was like sucking down those Lychee vapes. And then my next favorite one that was a staple was the Rainbow Skittles one by Flume. But those were like the super disposable ones. Like you couldn't recharge them. And then it became Apple by Flume. That's like my go-to.
Yeah. I like the ice creamy kind of flavors, like the creamy vibe.
Never had those.
I find that they go better with like coffee or something like that, or just other things that you're doing. Whereas like, I don't know, like strawberry watermelon and then like a sip of coffee doesn't always work. And back when I smoked cigarettes, I loved like having like a coffee and cigarette.
It was great.
Great combo.
Yeah.
Somebody should make a movie about that.
There's a song by Augustana called Coffee and Cigarettes.
Yeah, it's a good combo. I mean, I no longer smoke cigarettes, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I did smoke for like 7 years and
Like actual smoking for 7 years?
something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was an early bloomer with that.
What were you, like 12 when you started?
15.
Wow.
Yeah, my group of friends and I were like the ones who kind of started. We were like the first ones to smoke cigarettes, weed, drink beer.
The cool kids.
The hooligans.
Did you like beat up the nerds?
Yeah, dude. Wedgies for life. Yeah.
What kind of kid were you like in high school?
I was like the metal kid.
Okay.
But I also played sports and stuff, so I didn't really like. I wasn't like the punk kid or the jock. It was just kind of like in between, who can kind of float to different groups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but all my friends and I, like my main friends, were all like metal kids and
Okay.
the bad ones, I guess.
I found there was like workout metal kids, like rather than like skinny like losers. There's like punk adjacent.
Yeah, I wasn't
like
like
you would be a workout metal kid, right?
I am a workout metal kid.
like I wasn't like emo or anything. Like I looked pretty much like I do now, just buzzed head instead.
Yeah.
You had a buzzed head?
Yeah, I had a buzzed head until 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't tell because we're all seated, but Luke is also super tall. There's something in the water.
6'4".
Yeah, you're taller than me.
Yeah.
Northern Virginia. Yeah.
You can't tell with the seats right now, but
Did you like have like were you always kind of tall?
yeah, I think I hit 6 foot like
That was.
fifth or sixth grade. Mm-hmm. And then had another growth spurt.
That's enormous.
In high school.
You're a 6 foot tall fifth grader?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really tall. And then
So were you like, did you play on like the middle school basketball team just because like you could just stand there?
I played basketball for like 8 years. Or no. Yeah, like 8 years, and I played volleyball for 13.
Nice. Tall people sports.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then like freshman, sophomore year, I grew again like another 4 inches, so that got me to where I am. But then I've actually started filling out also. So I was a big boy.
Big boy.
Big country boy.
What about you? What were you like in high school?
I was like kind of quiet and like not that cool. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't have a great outside. I also had like a school with like we had the biggest graduating class ever, and there was something like 110 people or something.
Oh,
That was
okay.
your graduating class number?
Size, yeah, it was really small.
And that was the biggest one?
That was the biggest one up until that point in time.
You want to know how much was in mine? How many was in mine?
Oh,
Where'd you go to high school?
Westfield.
Oh, okay. In
Shout
Centerville.
out.
how many?
900.
900.
My graduating class.
in your graduating class.
Westfield
Wow.
was huge.
Yeah, like our graduation ceremony was at
George Mason.
George Mason.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So was mine.
So we had the whole arena for just our graduation.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
We did too, but like my school was bougie as fucking paid for the space that they didn't need. So we were in
Paul
the
the
same
Sixth?
arena. It was like for Northern Virginia schools, like all the public high schools and private high schools have their graduation ceremonies at George Mason, whatever the arena is called now. But it's like a whole 2-week period of like this high school has one day and then the next and then the next and the next.
Yeah, I think it's called Eagle One.
Yeah.
Some bank. Yeah. They're all banks now.
Yeah.
They are.
Or crypto,
Crypto.com.
even though they're like broke.
Are they?
I think so.
Some of these stadium names, man. We had on our holiday special, we were going over funny bowl names. I'm trying to remember, like, think
the
of like
college
just
bowl games.
some of the stupidest like stadium brand ones that are out there.
There was a lot of I think gobowling.com was my favorite. Just like a website that's like, hey, like go bowling.
Isn't the New Orleans Superdome called like Little Caesars Superdome now?
It is?
Well, that's
I believe it.
Detroit Red Wings is Little Caesars Arena. But that's, I mean, it's Detroit. That's where Little Caesars is from. And
Oh,
yeah, it's huge there.
I guess that makes sense.
My favorite's from the movie Basketball, and it's the
Tampax.
Tampax
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, that was a good. The movie was ahead of its time.
So good.
Yeah.
It actually holds up. I watched it pretty recently, and it holds up.
Yeah. How old were it? Was South Park a thing when that movie got made?
Yeah, because Basketball was maybe late 90s, early 2000s, and then South Park was
so.
early 90s. Mm-hmm. So it was like 10 years probably prior,
Yeah.
because it was their second movie, I think, after Orgasmo was their first one.
Oh,
I've never
I
heard of
remember
that.
It's like it's basically like Book of Mormon, which they also wrote. It's kind of sharing it in a way where it's about a Mormon guy who becomes this porn star double. So it's a stunt cock.
Yeah. Yeah, they love like Mormon stuff.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sorry to any Mormons out there.
No.
It's a joke.
We don't apologize. Sometimes we never apologize. So sometimes we never do. Yeah, I said it.
Yep.
Said it. If you're playing a drinking game, I said it.
Sometimes.
What is y'all's favorite drinking game?
I think it was King's Cup for me.
King's Cup is up there.
Yeah.
One we played during high school, which was just ruins you. It's called Bet Your Liver. You ever play that?
No, what is that?
So you have like a giant cup in the middle of your table, and then you put a whole deck of cards face down around it, and then everyone pours in. When it's your turn, you pour in as much beer as you want to bet, and then you guess a red or black card, and if you get it right, it goes to the next person. But if you get it wrong, you have to drink whatever's in the cup.
Isn't that like, I mean, the version of King's Cup that I played, like, I think when you like drew a certain card, you like poured a little bit into a cup in the center, and it's like you can't break the circle of cards. Like the borders all have to be touching.
That is a way of playing King's Cup also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so similar, but this one, like, it'd be like those, like the gas station novelty glasses that you get, like the 64 ounce, and it would just be full of beer.
Oh, because the first person who messes it up has to like drink whatever is there.
And sometimes not everyone's drinking the same beer.
Oh.
So like I was in my snooty IPA phase. So I would have a Dogfish and everyone else had like Coors Light. So I would just ruin it for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That sounds fun. What's your favorite, Nick?
I'm low key fire at beer pong.
Beer pong's classic.
When's the last time you played beer pong?
It was at my cousin's house in North Hollywood, and I was just smoking motherfuckers. The thing is I'm not. If you know this, I don't ever talk about our band. I just I just get uncomfortable about it. I don't know why, but I just don't like talking about myself, nor do I brag. So there's nothing I love more than somebody stepping to the beer pong table cocky as shit, and in my head I'm like, I'm fucking owing this kid, and I do, and then I just walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. People
Sometimes
who are cocky about beer pong is like the worst person.
Makes sense in high school if you're trying to show off about something like that.
Or college, yeah. It's like that whole era. But I've like never had a time where I'm just like consistently good. I'm either really good at one night or just terrible. Like not making anything.
Yeah. I think I'm the same way.
I have my off nights, but for the most part,
And it's never like, oh, I'm better when I'm drunk. Because sometimes I'm great when I'm drunk. Sometimes I'm terrible.
No, I don't think anyone is ever actually better when they're drunk.
No, you just get more stoked when you get it.
you just start thinking you're better when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this feigned confidence.
Yeah. So Luke.
Yes.
Like, I'm supposed to ask you the first question that pops into my head, so my head is just a complete blank right now.
Whoa, where'd you come up with that concept?
What was your dream last night?
because his last name's Blankenship.
Where was my dream last night?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was kind of when I drink a lot, I don't have dreams.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one of those nights. I went axe thrown last night. Have you guys done that?
I've never done that.
At Mo's Axe House.
Mo's House of Axe.
House of Axe. Thank you. It's first time being there, so
Because they're going out of business. So
yeah.
Your last
last night was unfortunately their last night of business, but it was a lot of fun. Got a few bullseye. Learned how to throw it underhand, which was sick.
Whoa.
You feel cool doing that.
Does it just sort of bounce off the wall most of the time?
I mean, if you're bad,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you're not.
it's pretty solid.
I actually took a first date to Mo's House of Axe.
That'd be fun.
I kind of got to a point like dating in LA where I was just like, I don't care if this is like a weird kind of too much going on first date, but I'm just like, I'm kind of bored and I just want to change things up. And hopefully she gets that that's like a cool, cute idea.
Yeah. Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Sweet.
Lasted 2 months, which is long for me. So like, yeah, we were talking for a solid 60 days and then, yeah. Poof.
My best date was my first date with my wife.
Now. What the fuck was that?
Just kidding.
Hi, Catherine.
I love you, Catherine. But yeah, I always loved doing like activities on first date. Like I used to take girls mini golfing a lot.
Yeah.
Which is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Or bowling.
Bowling is a great
and just
date
destroy
activity.
them.
Yeah, because you can talk like fake smack and like just get like flirty.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. That was on one of the like that obnoxious top 30 list of like women said these were like bad date ideas. There were a bunch of really valid ones on there, like Applebee's. Like,
oh yeah,
whose list is this? Is it like a well-known list?
Sounds like some loser,
some fucking BuzzFeed writer,
some nerd.
Thank you for your infinite
Who's
wisdom.
never had a date,
nerd.
I've actually never taken a girl out to dinner for a first date. 'Cause I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
That was like my go-to.
No dinner, no movie. Because I want to talk.
The movie, yeah. I mean, I think I did like movies. That was like a go-to when you were like in high school or something. Because that's what I thought you were supposed to do.
I stand correct. Yeah. We did that in high school. But that was kind of like, it was always group dates though.
I like going to dinner for a first date is like kind of like not as much in fashion because you're sort of like trapped for an hour and a half experience. And if you know in the first 5 minutes that like you want to get the fuck out of there, sorry, you know.
I've had that once.
Yeah.
all right, I've got the list.
Let's keep the list up. Let's kind of like go through it and
I'll graze through the top 5 because they're kind of all in the same category. But like,
good job, Jamie.
Too long didn't read. You're welcome.
is it like the kind of list that like escalates like by the end 30 is like and never ever do this, or is it in no order?
Well, it's not in any particular order, but I love this. Like the first 5 are Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili, Chipotle, Olive Garden. And then that's kind of like the first 5. So those are kind of all in the same category.
Wait, these are all like places to never go on a date?
No, the case. This is a list that
I thought this would be like go to the park or like a drive-in movie or like.
So these are like supposedly
That'd be fun.
That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
a whole bunch of women were anonymously surveyed as like what are the worst first date spots.
Okay.
Right. And the first 5 are like those chain restaurants that I mentioned. Number 6 is the movies. I get that one. You're not talking.
Movies, yeah, I don't like movies.
Yeah, like there's no room to talk.
Right.
Number 7 is your house.
I mean, yeah,
we know what's going on there.
Yeah. And then number 8,
Netflix and chill.
Number 8 is basically just reaffirming the first 5, which is any fast food chains. It's like just in case there was any mistake.
So what were they again? The first 5?
Cheesecake Factory.
Which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would be stoked.
I actually saw a TikTok recently of this. Basically, this girl was out on a date and the guy pulled up and she basically pulled out her phone and started taking a TikTok when he got out of the car. And then she wouldn't get out of the car because she was like, this man just took me to Cheesecake Factory and I'm too pretty to go to Cheesecake Factory. And I'm just kind of like, it's not like a cheap place at all. Like it's pretty pricey at points. But also, it's a first date. And then he later says that he arrived to pick her up at 4. And she basically made him wait outside in his car for an hour while she got ready. So they missed their reservation to another place he had chosen. So he's kind of like scrambling last minute of choosing place. So Cheesecake Factory's in the area.
Did this all come out in the same TikTok video, or is like
Yeah,
responses?
she's like filming him out, which is another thing I
That's
hate.
horrible.
When you like just randomly film someone trying to get views.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, whoever you are, just don't do that.
Yeah, it's tacky.
It goes on to say Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster,
Stop stove.
So it's just like a list of chain restaurants.
Yeah,
a buffet. It just all it says is a buffet.
I mean,
Buffets, like, do they even exist after COVID anymore?
I haven't been to one since.
Remember Ruby Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Ruby Tuesdays was the shit.
Have I
so
ever
good.
been? I've never been.
It was good until they changed it to be like fancier. It used to be like just a sports bar,
Yeah.
but then they changed it to be like more like casual, fine dining,
Like just like an Applebee's, Chili's.
like a step up,
Okay.
one step.
Oh, it's like nice?
It's like not. It's like remember the movie Office Space?
Yeah.
It's a less gaudy version of Tchotchkes. Or I
Yeah,
shouldn't.
it's kind of like TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
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 It has a
But a little
day of
more
the
low
week.
key. A little
Yeah.
more low key.
Did y'all know that TGI Fridays, Applebee's, and Chili's are all owned by the same company?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they're all owned by one person, pretty much.
Norman Brinker, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll skip past all the other fast food ones because I think that's just kind of monotonous. But there are some in here that like really bother me. And
Okay.
again, just to recap, these are all like bad first dates according to a bunch of women that were anonymously surveyed.
Yeah.
Some I agree with, like the gym. Maybe if that's like, well, you know what?
Yo, can you spot me on our first date?
Yeah, there just seems like an ulterior motive there. Unless, of course, like maybe those two people like are just all about the gym. They don't
If
drink.
you met at an untraditional, like at the gym, that I could see that, but that still is like a bad idea.
Even then, go for a hike instead.
yeah.
Something outdoors.
Yeah. There's one that's kind of similar to the gym that's next on the list, which is church. I think that's like endearing, but I feel like that guy is trying to show too much that he's a good guy. And if you're both Christian, like you'll get there. You'll cross that bridge.
Yeah.
You know?
Even for super Christian people, going to church together as a first date is
You
like
can't talk.
It's going to church together. It's not a
Yeah.
date.
Yo, you want to hear me sing these hymns really loud?
Yeah. Like what?
I sound really good.
Yeah. There's a couple on here that are next on the list that like kind of like grind my gears because they are super adorable first date ideas. Like going out for ice cream.
Love ice cream.
Who said that was a bad idea? Is there like a little like subtext or explanation?
Just anonymously surveyed women. I don't know who did the poll.
That would have been terrible during Nick's dry July month.
Yeah. You would have gotten two ice cream.
I would have just canceled the date and just gotten ice cream myself.
I mean, I feel like if you're going for ice cream, it's a supplementary activity. You know? Like you could
It's
go
like
do
you're getting
this.
ice cream, you're going to go for a walk around the park or
Yeah.
something like that.
Or like if you have a dinner date, then it's like, do you want to go get ice cream or get dessert or something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, totally.
Love ice cream.
The bowling's on there, which we all agree that's a really awesome first date idea.
So much fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Get a pitcher of beer,
Yep.
hit some pins,
Get some French fries.
some French fries.
And a lot of bowling alleys these days are like really trying to get with the times where they'll have like a cool hip bar before you get into the actual bowling alley.
I actually kind of prefer like just the shitty bowling alley where it's like you walk into the bar, you're like, I might get like some disease walking in here, but the alley will be sick.
I even before COVID would think about that. I usually get French fries when I go to a bowling alley, and it's like you're putting your fingers in this like reused, disgusting bowling ball. You can't see inside the holes
And then
where your
you're touching
fingers are going.
fries.
And then you just grab a French fry and you put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys like mustard? Do you ever eat just French fries with mustard?
Nope.
I have. I don't go out of my way to say, oh, I'm getting mustard exclusively so I can have my French fries.
I don't really care for condiments.
What? Even
Like-
on French fries?
Don't like ketchup. Don't like mustard. Don't like mayo. Barbecue sauce I love.
Weird.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm weird when it comes to like sauces and dressings.
Are you? Is it like just any barbecue sauce is like awesome, or like
Pretty much. I mean, it's kind of hard to like for me to find a bad barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. There aren't too many that are like phenomenal, but
yeah.
like yeah.
That brings up another point that I wanted to talk about because I can totally sympathize or empathize with the fact that you're not a condiments person, and I'm not really like a big foodie per se. I like food.
I love food.
And one of the main reasons I moved to Orange County is just a whole bunch of just like kind of chain restaurant type stuff like Jimmy John's.
There's a Famous Dave's down there.
Okay.
Shout out. I used to work there as a server in Virginia.
Really?
But the closest Famous Dave's to LA is down in Orange County, Irvine. And I've gone down there a couple times just for Famous Dave's.
We should follow up this pod with like go to Famous Dave's and just talk about like barbecue or like
So good.
Maybe we
review
can
our
ask
meal.
him. We should ask him if we can set up our pod at Famous Dave's.
That'd be legit. Yo, Dave, if you hear this,
So, dude.
let us come.
Yeah.
He's too famous. He's not gonna watch this.
Boo.
He's not so famous anymore.
Everybody's already booing. You don't need to
Okay.
pile on.
Fair enough.
Come on, man. I have feelings.
But one of my biggest pet peeves when I lived in LA, whereas like I was surrounded by a bunch of foodies where like, let's say we all, there's a specific story where I got sushi with my roommate at the time, and he had to have sriracha with his sushi. That was like his thing. And he thought he had some extra packets or something like lying around, and he didn't. And he was like apoplectic that he had this sushi in front of him and couldn't.
That's a nice word.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Apoplectic.
Yeah. He's just like beside himself that he was just like had this great sushi meal ready to go, but he didn't have sriracha. He left to go buy sriracha to come back to eat his sushi. But he was also one of those people where like
It's a little much.
if we got like DoorDash or something like that, maybe it was like something I hadn't tried before, he'd be like, hey man, but like you got to put this sauce on it or whatever. And like he'd ask me like 3 or 4 times to the point where I was like, hey, now I just don't want to. Just because you ask me so many times, like I'm not gonna do it if I don't like it or I'm unsure.
See, that's my thing. It's like if I'm gonna go out to eat, I'm not a big fan of cons, but also I don't think if something's good, it doesn't need the condiments added to it.
Yeah.
If it's like a dish that's like, oh, it comes with this like beurre blanc sauce or something like that, eat it because it's made that way.
Yeah,
but the fact that it's like, oh, I need sriracha in order to enjoy the sushi, you don't.
I heard my friend's dad once. It's changed my life, and now I think about this. Like you get like a Caesar salad or something, and they come around. They're like black pepper, and he comes to him and he's
What are
like,
they like?
"What?
What are they like?
Black pepper?"
Okay.
Yes, please.
I'd be like, "Just leave that shit.
Say when.
Just set it down, walk away."
Pack up.
They're like, "Would you like any black pepper?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't tried it yet." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we should probably fucking try it. See if it's like under peppered."
Yeah, so that's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like someone trying to tell me that I needed to have their unique sauce on like a burrito where I want to eat my burrito in peace, bro. Pack
Yes.
up.
Also, yeah, no.
So
People get weird with food. It's like people get
that's fine, and they can be
super,
weird about their
super
food,
weird.
but don't like loop me into your weirdness of food. I just want to eat my fucking sandwich in peace.
Was he like one of those people that's like,
It was
are you gonna finish that? I know exactly who you're talking
okay.
about.
Sorry.
Yeah. Wait. Do we still have that list pulled up? We should look at another one of these.
Okay.
So I'm really curious.
Yeah. So there's one more on here that I disagree with, but the rest are funny that we should talk about.
Tell us what grinds your gears.
A bar for drinks. That's literally the epitome of a first date.
Somebody said that.
It's third to last on the list, but yeah, it's like
It was like every one of my first days in LA.
Yeah.
you go to a bar for drinks to get a little bit of liquid confidence, start a conversation.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
It's a bad first date if you're like a sober person.
It's the easy way to like get chatting.
Chatting?
Like
Becoming a Chad?
Yeah, becoming Chad.
Yeah.
Just chatting, bro.
Yo, what up, bro? Just vibing over here.
Now there are some on here that I do agree with, like movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. Like that's like Netflix and chill, basically, is what they're saying in that one. Yeah. So it's like
that's not a first date. That's like 101st date. You know?
Yeah.
Or third date.
Yeah, or a third date, maybe.
I feel like it's pretty low effort. And like it's our third date, so pay
Anywhere,
up.
yeah, and maybe anywhere like 5 days and beyond, like you're kind of in Netflix chill mode.
It's very transactional. Yeah.
Somewhere that requires a long drive.
I guess it depends. Yeah. Well, for a first date, yeah, it's kind of weird if you're driving a long time in the car. 'Cause
Yeah.
what if it's a terrible date so far? And it's like, oh, we have a 2.5 hour drive back.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
It's just like didn't go well.
Let me put some tunes on.
Because maybe you don't like each other. You know what I mean?
I think just in any first date, it needs to be easy to leave. Like you don't want to like lock anybody into anything. And I think based on this, like watching a movie, anything where you're seated side by side, looking at something else. So there's like a movie. There was another one of the ones.
Even
you
at a
said.
restaurant, those weirdos.
Your house.
My house,
That was on the list. At your house.
just sitting side by side. Yeah. Whatever.
A fun icebreaker that I always bring up, like on a first date, is like, oh, like, have you had any bad like dating app experiences or whatever? Because I'm sure like
That's a
women
good
have a lot of them.
They have definitely more than men.
And I've gotten like a couple like fun stories, but more often than not, like a girl will tell me like, oh yeah, I wasn't vibing it, and then they'll usually say like, hey, so I'm getting tired and like I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you where a girl like did that?
No.
Where she walked out on the first date?
Made an excuse to
Made an
leave.
excuse.
No.
I mean, if she has, like, she did a good enough job that I didn't realize. But no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm not like a I don't know. I like a lot of the time, like I'm not single and I haven't been for a long time. But when when I was like dating, I would usually try and just meet girls out in the wild. So there's usually like a bar is a good place to do that. Or just like doing some sort of shared activity rather than like, you know, be like, hey, like I really want to go on a first date with this person, either through an app or like a friend or something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I guess I've had way less first dates than some other people, but yeah, I've done that to somebody that was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And then I want to hear y'all's
spill the tea.
take. Okay, so it was on a dating app, of course, and matched with this girl. I was like, hey, let's go see, like, they're having like bands play at this one like outdoor kind of bar thing. I don't know if it's still around here. It's called like Blue Star or something. It was over in like the warehouse district or whatever. And we were gonna meet up at like let's say like 8 o'clock or something. And I can't remember why, but I accidentally got there like an hour early or something. And it's like, whatever, I'm just gonna like have a beer and watch the other bands, and then when she gets here, cool. And then it's like 8, and then it's like 8:30, and then it's like 9, and then it's like 9:30, and I'm like, hey, like I'm like texting her, it's like, hey, I'm like, you know, you no showed, like I'm leaving, like what the fuck. She like rolls up right at 9:30, and she's there with her gay friend, and I was just like, I thought we were going on a date. She's like, oh yeah, I mean, just whatever.
Nope.
Do you want to smoke a spliff with us? And I was like, okay. And I like walked back into their car and just like smoked this with her and her friend. And then we got out of the car, and as soon as we had, I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you later. Just smoked it in peace.
When were you? When was she supposed to show up to the date?
Like an hour and a half before that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would have been gone by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I had already been chilling there for an hour, so I think it was like more like I was just kind of like enjoying myself. But yeah, it was like, what the fuck? It's just very. Why would you even show up?
Yeah.
An hour and a half late, and bring a friend.
Unless you're just like delusional.
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've almost left a date when I got there. Mm-hmm. Met on Bumble, and we had chatted, got along nicely on there, and we were like, "Oh, let's go meet up at BJ's Brew House." Shout out to get
We got to record our ad spot for BJ's after this. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
as
BJ's
a
Brew House.
BJ's Beer Club member. I'm obligated to say that.
This is back in Nova.
No, it's here.
Okay.
There's one in Burbank. That one.
No, we were gonna meet the one in Woodland Hills because she said her mom didn't want her going too far for a date. I was in Burbank at the time. She was in Thousand Oaks. So
That's
it was
a red flag right away.
It was kind of middle ground, and I was just like, all right. I felt too nice guy to like cancel the date. I was just like, well, we already kind of said it. Let's just meet up anyway.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. That wasn't a red flag for you right away that her
It
mom
kind of was, but I was just like,
my mom says I can't go too far.
I mean, she was 21.
Okay.
I was 23 at the time, so it wasn't like a big change.
My mom says BJ's.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Some sinister undertone.
And then when I get there, I'm like driving up by the park, and I see her, and she looked nothing like the photos.
Oh.
And I just immediately was like, fuck. And I almost beelined out of there.
Yeah.
But again, a nice guy came out and was just like, all right, I'll humor this. And then during the day, she was fine. She was a little spacey. But then she was like, oh yeah, I'm leaving for college tomorrow for grad school. And I was like, why you meet on the first date the day before you go back to college? And it was like out of state also.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to Cal State Northridge or anywhere close.
Did you bring that up? You're like, well, so...
No, I just knew in my head. I'm like, well, I'm never talking to her again.
Yeah.
Was it like old pictures that she didn't look like? Or?
It was the old, good old MySpace angle.
Oh, one of these?
Yeah. It just... Yeah.
She knew her angles.
She knew her angle as well. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name, but well done.
Yeah. Touche. Everybody get up for Luke's first date. That was good on her. I was kind of not a nice person on my version of those two stories. I was like, it was my first Tinder date ever. This is back in DC. And I wasn't sure how these things were supposed to like play out. So she's like a volleyball player, and like I felt like that's like all we were talking about the entire time, because I just didn't, maybe I was like socially awkward at the time. I didn't really know how to like generate conversation. But what I did before that date is I told my best friend and the girl that he was dating at the time, like, yo, so I'm going to this bar at this time. Can you all come like halfway through, just as like a fallback plan?
Yeah.
To come through or whatever. And sure enough, like I texted him, I was like, yo, get through here. I was like, I don't know, this is going nowhere. And they showed up, and you could kind of just see like when they came in like unannounced, and they try to pretend like they just like, oh, hey, what's up, Nick? But she like just knew right away, like, oh, you kind of planned this thing. And she's like, all right, so I'm going to go. I feel really bad about that one. Paul, it was not nice.
Nick, I think you need to apologize to her right now.
Well, girl, whoever you are, I forgot your name. I'm really sorry from the bottom of my heart.
We're sorry too.
And I hope you're doing well. I'm still playing volleyball.
You're playing volleyball?
No, to that girl.
Oh, I thought you were playing volleyball. I was like, cool.
I played beach volleyball like once or twice.
Have you ever helped anyone get out of a date?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been the phone call once.
I think I've done the phone call, and shit. What was this?
What was the excuse?
I think it was kind of similar to that, of where I just like showed up to the bar and be like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And then like the other person being like, we're gonna like it, like I had a lot of fun, we're gonna go over to like this like next spot, and like we'll talk later or something, like have a great night, just sort of like nicely dished.
What was his reaction to all that going down? Or his or her reaction?
It was played pretty well, so it was like nobody noticed.
I have a stupid one.
Yeah.
This girl like met up with this. She went on a date with this guy she met at a Halloween party that was there too. You want to guess what he was dressed up as?
What?
Harvey Weinstein.
Ooh. Oh, yikes.
Like this was probably 2017, so right around the time he was getting convicted and all that.
Yeah.
Which we were like, that's really weird. Why would you talk to him in the first place?
How do you dress as Harvey Weinstein anyway? Like you just sort of. Did he have like a mask or something?
It was like a costume where he had to tell everyone.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah. And so she went on a date with him and was just like, hey, can you, me and like a couple other guys, can you just give me a call like an hour and a half in or an hour in, something like that?
Yeah.
And just come up with some excuse if I text you. It's like,
yes.
Okay. She texted us, and I called her and I was like, oh my God, there's an avalanche in the backyard. You got to get home quick. And then she left, and he was like, can you please like just text me when you get home, just so I know you got home safe, which is a fine thing.
Because there was an avalanche, so
yeah,
he was
it was avalanche.
concerned.
Didn't want her to get hurt. And then she didn't text him, and then he like started blowing her up, just like, "Hey, why don't you text me?" And so I started calling him Crying Ryan because his name was Ryan. It's pretty successful.
Harvey Weinstein.
That's good.
Thank you. It's about whining. Weinstein. Wine.
I like to think that
Shit, I keep
the
kicking this table.
most honest version of a person is like how well they take getting dumped. Because or rejected for that matter. So like if she was already not feeling it, and he must have been smart enough to know that she wasn't into it because she just dipped out. Right.
She took an avalanche call in Los Angeles.
Right. There could have been a small
Did
part.
she have you on speaker?
I hope so.
Right. There could have been a small part of there was like, hey, I really wasn't vibing this first date, but like maybe I'll consider a second one. But for tonight, I'm done. And if that was the case, then that guy did not do himself any favors of a second date, because it sounds like he just did not handle that very well.
Crying Ryan.
Crying Ryan.
Ryan's crying.
Yeah.
Van Halen shout out.
That went over my head.
Janie's crying. Right? No, is that Aerosmith?
No, it's
Is that Van Halen?
Janie's Got a Gun.
Oh, that's from another teen movie.
Yeah. Janie's got a gun. Oh my gosh, she's got a gun.
That was a great movie. One of the best satire movies of all time.
100%. It's so good.
Which movie? I just fucking
not another teen movie. It has Chris Evans in
Chris
it.
Evans, yeah.
Yeah. Chris Evans is in that?
Yeah, he's the main guy.
He's the main jock.
Oh my god, yeah, that is him.
There's that shot where he like is in the hallway. It's like the first opening shot of him, and he looks at a photo of himself, and then walks the other hallway, and there's a photo of him looking at a photo of himself.
So good. So good. It's just like really dumb humor, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
It was around the good era of like those parody movies, like their first couple scary movies.
Yeah. The first scary movie was great. I love how they're like recreating that first like Scream scene, and then she runs out to the backyard and there's two signs. One is safety and death, and she runs towards death.
and then he stabs her. It's Carmen Electra. And he stabs her boob and pulls it out, and it's like
her implant.
Implant.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a throwback. I don't think I've seen that since it was like when I was a kid.
You know which one is actually really good is Scary Movie 3. It was the first one without like the Wayans brothers in it. But it was like Charlie Sheen, Simon Rex, Anna Faris, and it was like they're doing Signs, The Ring, and
8 Mile.
8 Mile.
Yeah, that was great.
I always love that part. It's like, what is your dream? To have a dream.
That's basically being in a band. What's the dream? Just hopefully something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys have any dreams for this year as the Sometimes Island? What are you looking forward to with this EP release?
I feel like people have been asking me that question because I just haven't been talking about my band a lot, just in general, to my close friends. And I mean, outside of writing the new record, I think that there's just still things that we're kind of working on high level, planning wise.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for us to get on a tour opening for a national act and be able to do that. I would love to release a lot of music this year and like be consistent about it, because there's been such like gaps between our releases in the past. And I realized like when we were on this previous tour, I was like, I've been playing some of these songs for like 7 years, you know?
Yeah, we needed to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's too long. Unless it was like, you know, and these weren't like #1 hit, $1 million. No.
Yeah.
They're just songs that we've been playing for a long time. So yeah, being prolific, going on tour, opening for a national, you know, just to be able to be in like bigger venues and do that sort of thing.
We got our first taste of it at that Pappy and Harriet show, where it was just like a sea of people and you're like, oh my God, is this really happening? That was a cool feeling. So hopefully more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
100%.
yeah, other than that, yeah, just grinding away, writing new music.
You heard it here. One EP a month.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's a weird question, because it's kind of like, well, like you know, like what your guys' relationship is going well, like what do you guys what do you like, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Like, we like hanging out.
We chill.
It's going good.
Didn't you said something like interesting where like anytime you'd go home for the holidays with like an uncle or like a once removed cousin or something like that, I'd be like, so man, how's the band going?
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no real easy way of like answering that. I usually just dismiss the topic altogether. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's good.
Well, I think it always comes from people who don't necessarily know about
That world.
music world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, they think you're in a band or sort of like, oh, you're on the same level as Aerosmith. And
No,
it's like,
you're not.
It's like, oh no, we just played in front of 5 people the other day. So
Yeah.
no.
Those shows have happened with us for sure.
More than once.
Yeah.
It's got to happen though.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
Um,
Just friends of the other bands.
it's bands playing for other bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one thing Matt and I have like tried to avoid is what I call the death spiral of shows.
Well,
What's
I know
that?
Death Spiral music conferences.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What's
Which is
that?
like there are these at least on the East Coast, there are these like music conferences where they have like industry professionals like give like panels and like kind of music workshop things, but they also have like bands playing, right? So they have
Probably
like
pay well.
yeah, I think it's like a pay to play. You have to like pay to be in the festival or whatever. But my band or one of my bands before I moved out here, like we would play all those circuits and it was just the same bands that we would see at the festival, like just playing in front of each other. And it was just this death spiral, as I call it.
Yikes.
So
Yeah.
not to shit talk those, but I'm just keeping it real.
But the shit talk them.
But to shit talk them.
Yeah.
They deserve it. This
Yeah.
whole like cottage industry of like, hey, indie musicians want to, it's like take my coaching course for $900 or 3 easy payments of $350.
And those are the people who have never been in a band before.
Yeah.
Because they would know right then they don't have that money.
I've met what's his name? It's like Ari something. He has a website called Ari's Take, and he wrote.
I think I know who you're talking about.
He's a really nice guy, but it's a pretty good resource book. It's called How to Make It in the Music Industry, and I remember picking it up and looking at it. I was like, how the fuck? What do you know about making it in the music industry?
Was he a musician?
Yeah, he's a musician.
Was that the guy that we listened to that audiobook on tour?
No, that was a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like also like there's certain labels out there that you can tell are just not run by people who have played music before.
Yeah.
They come from a more business background. So they're just trying to make a profit, which the music ends up being pretty crappy out there.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most profitable things are the hardest to explain. Like, oh, we mold plastic to make molds for industrial equipment. Like you probably make a shitload of money doing that
Yeah.
because it's really hard to say what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just like summing that up, there's like nothing more frustrating than like someone going to like a starry-eyed musician or actor or whatever you're trying to pursue and saying like, oh, these 10 steps will unlock this key to success. And it's just like, well, if your product's not good,
Yeah.
then that 10 steps means nothing.
Yeah, you gotta have good songs. You gotta be willing to play in front of 5 people.
Yeah.
You gotta grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely an element of like right place, right time for sure.
Yes. Yeah, you have to have luck as well. But
Yeah, because if you don't do good in your own scene, you're not gonna do well. Like otherwise, because if your own scene doesn't like you, then who else is going to?
yeah.
And labels will see that the good labels.
Yeah.
I mean, all luck is, what is it, preparation plus opportunity is luck.
Yeah.
So you don't get to always decide when the opportunity will come. But if you're prepared, then
Yeah.
you're ready.
You never hesitate.
Keep going.
Got to be ready for that when like that Mai Tai punch comes in. You should hit him with a chucha. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What's a Mai Tai punch?
I don't know. I just
Sounds
made that
delicious.
up. It does.
It's just Mai Tai with fruit punch.
When someone hands you that tropical fruity alcoholic beverage,
Did
you drink
say
it?
Muay Thai?
Is that how it's pronounced? Muay Thai.
Yeah.
No, Mai Tai. When
think
someone
it's-
hits you with that Mai Tai punch
You drink that shit.
out of a straw.
Life gives you Muay Thai punch.
Drink it.
Drink it.
That's right. What are some of y'all's biggest pet peeves? I know we were kind of talking about that. I want to recap that.
I was actually talking about this a couple days ago with someone. I got 2 big ones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
People who chew with their mouth open.
Gross.
Fucking idiot. God, I hate that sound. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Number 2 is talking during a movie at a movie theater. If I
Yeah.
hear you talking, I will beat the shit out of you. Like, I'm sorry. And another podcast has already kind of covered this topic. Hard Lore, favorite podcast. But yeah, like if you're going to talk during a movie, go anywhere else. You don't need to come to the movies to talk.
Have you ever had to lay down the law with some people?
I did recently. I went and saw Napoleon.
Uh-huh.
And while we're watching trailers, this guy comes in and he's like screaming to get above the level of the trailers.
Oh God.
And like he's a row behind me and I'm just like, God damn it. And my wife puts her hand on my arm because she knows I'm already like,
She knows it's coming.
She knows it's coming.
Yeah.
And then the movie starts, and I mean, I've been to movies where people talk and it's just kind of like a whisper. He's talking full voice, and again, he's right behind me, so I'm like livid already. And then it's just bothering me, like to the point where like 5 minutes in, he's still talking, and I turn around and I yell, "Yo, stop talking!"
Yeah.
But I guess it just happened to be a loud moment in the movie, so he didn't hear me. I guess
okay.
maybe he was just ignoring me.
Yeah.
And then about 10 minutes later, he starts talking again. And at this point, I'm done. So I like kind of get out of my seat and turn to him and I just yell, "Yo, stop talking." And then I give him the cut it out.
That is the most dad thing ever.
Yeah, I give him the cut it out symbol. And then he looks at me, he's like, "Sorry." I was like, yeah, shut the fuck up. So don't talk during movies.
Was
Okay.
he like a normal looking dude, or did he look like he was a douche already?
He was like older, like I think he was honestly like Russian.
Oh.
So maybe he just didn't know. I don't know.
I don't know why I said, oh, like that makes sense because he's Russian. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was an asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck that
But
guy.
yeah, and then also people
Oh,
who like
sorry, bro.
are like opening their bags of like food or candy mid movie.
Uh-huh.
Do it before.
So that one's a little unfair, but I see what you're saying.
Well, it's like or if it's a clean like rip, fine, do that. But like, yeah, I saw another movie recently, and it was like the Skittles Brigade behind me. They were just like, it was almost like they were like playing hacky sack with a bag of Skittles.
Yeah. If you're gonna open something or do something, you gotta at least be like conscious and like try to do it quietly or
Or
something.
do it during a loud part of the movie.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for explosions and rip it open.
Yeah,
So those are your two?
2 main ones. Yeah.
Two
Okay.
main pet peeves.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
I have one that has absolutely been a pet peeve of mine forever. One that somebody had brought up as a pet peeve of theirs, and I was like, that's my new pet peeve. The first one is somebody clipping their toenails in public or just in front of other people. That sound.
It's gross. Private time.
Yeah, it's a private thing. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's just a social awareness thing in my opinion. The second one is if you hadn't seen a relatively popular movie or heard
This is one of mine. This is so weird. Have we talked about this before?
maybe.
I think so.
But like, yeah, you mentioned or a popular song or movie from like forever ago or whatever gets brought up and you say, "Oh yeah, I never seen that." And someone's saying, "Oh, you never seen that before?" Oh, it's my biggest pet peeve. And my response is always like, "No, I haven't. Just opportunity never presented itself."
Well, because they're always like, "What the fuck? You've never seen Titanic? What is wrong with you?"
I hate that.
Well, I think it's to end with what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of get where someone's just like, "Oh damn, you've never seen that?" Like, oh, okay, like it's a sick movie, but it's also such a cultural
Yeah.
legacy essentially.
I try to spin it positively where I say verbatim, I go, "Oh, word? Oh, well, we should get you to watch it sometime. It's a good one."
Oh word.
Oh, word?
bet.
Bet. We got to get better at our Gen Z terminology. Bet.
I'm brushed up.
That's fire.
I meant in terms of using it more often.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think fire's old Gen Z.
Fire.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Bet.
but
No cap.
was it sus?
Sus.
Riz. That's one.
Riz, yeah.
I don't know.
On
I'm
God.
gonna stop trying.
On God. Nah, but for real. So like I know I stole one of yours pet peeves, no cap, but what was your other one? Sick.
I think I don't know why this is very specific, but that like bakers say mascarpone and that's not how it's spelled.
Mascarpone?
It's mascarpone.
Mascarpone, yeah.
But it's mascarpone. It's not how it's spelled. That's not my main one. That was my main one.
I don't think I'd be
but you
bothered
took
by
it.
that too much because I'll probably be like, I know what you're talking about.
I don't even really care that much. I don't know any bakers anyway.
It's like Ted from How I Met Your Mother saying, "Oh, it's pronounced encyclopedia."
Oh, encyclopedia.
You're one of those guys.
I thought of one. You're like pulling into the parking lot of like, you know, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box or something, somebody else's, and they like go really fast to get in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck you, dude. Come on.
Honestly, nowadays I don't do drive-through. I just order on the app, park, and walk in and grab it.
Well, some of the apps are like, just order on the app
It's
and then
fast.
just tell them
Yeah.
on the drive-through.
True. Yeah.
Do it anyway.
There are a couple of those that do that. But sometimes I'll wait till I get to the restaurant itself to choose if I'm going to do in-store or drive-through.
Yeah.
So I can kind of gauge how long the drive-through line is.
Totally. Yeah.
Gotta beat
Smart.
the system somehow.
Yeah. You got to go in. The Del Taco and Silver Lake, if you go inside, it's way, way faster.
Because also people who aren't using the apps, what are you doing?
What are you
You get free
doing?
reward points. You sometimes get free items, and that's where the discounts are.
Yeah.
Yeah. McDonald's, great app.
I don't have the McDonald's app. Actually, I used to like never go to McDonald's and now I'm like cool with it, but yeah.
McDonald's breakfast is legendary.
It is really, really good.
But like for my birthday, got a free item.
Wow. What'd they give you?
It was just a hash brown, but it's
The hash browns are fire.
Yeah.
You know
it
the
was great.
picante sauce for the breakfast burritos? You ever get that and put it on a hash brown? Super good. You're not a condiment guy.
Yep.
I don't know why
This is
I'm...
why I left LA.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Nick,
fire.
you gotta like try the picante sauce on the hash brown.
What's wrong with you?
Now I'm just not going to out of spite. Yeah.
That's what's called a podcast callback.
Yeah. This is smooth.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Stare right into the camera. Are we? Is it time to go home?
We're coming up on an hour now, I think.
We are. Oh, we're having so
Yeah.
much fun.
I know.
I didn't even notice.
Let's finish off the conversation with, and then we can just talk with the cameras off. But let's finish off with like some goals that we all have for 2024.
Okay. That's positive. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to...
I want you guys to go first because I don't have any.
Because you don't know. Yeah, I don't have any set right now. I'm kind of like leaned away from making New Year's resolutions because it's like I want something that is just more like I'm gonna do more of this rather than like I'm gonna, you know, if you're like gonna quit smoking cigarettes for like your New Year's resolution, like that's gonna be yeah, I think that's
a
great.
good one.
That's good for your health.
Just do cold turkey, people.
Yeah, you gotta just go for it.
Yeah.
But most New Year's resolutions are like, I don't know. I feel like you should probably just have one. And I've always had like a couple, and it never really worked out.
Yeah, like I don't have any like big ones. It's just kind of like elevating what's happened previously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I would love to continue getting further into the career I'm starting of doing music editing for film.
Yes.
We're in a good point this year of start. Also doing like mixing for bands. Love to do more of that. So
yeah.
Any bands listening, hit me up. Make it sound sick. And then like family goals. Hoping my wife and I can move into a house this year. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Not renting or sorry, not buying, renting, because LA is expensive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, those are a couple of the big goals, I would say.
Cool.
I like them.
Relatively maintainable to touch.
Yeah. Mine is going to be like to kind of keep momentum throughout the whole year because that's going to be ultimately impossible to like never hit a speed bump, but to realize what's happening as faster than I have in the past and to correct it. I think like even just being here in this city, sometimes I need to like just like go somewhere else for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hit the reset button, because if I don't, like I'll get in this weird like phase where like depression runs in my family. I'll like get depressed and then I'll end up I'll be up till like 3 or 4 in the morning for like no reason. And then like, I'm so tired all the time. And, you know, if I don't have to do anything the next day, I'll just like sleep in until like, you know, 11 or something. And especially this time of year where the days are already so short anyways, that's like, it makes you more depressed. And then you're like, well, I didn't really get a day. So at least I got to like have some time to like, you know, at night, and then you just stay up till like 4. It's a vicious cycle. So I think it's to like keep momentum. And when I do hit like a speed bump or get depressed or something, just to be able to like recognize it. So I guess it's good to say this to you guys.
It's a good personal goal.
You seem like
vocalize it. Those
tired and depressed.
It's a really thoughtful resolution. I like that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's not cliche. It's not like I'm gonna go to the gym.
I was gonna say, because that's just my resolution, is just get jacked.
Yeah,
That's a good resolution.
Yeah, I just want to get fucking ripped.
Why not now?
Yeah.
You know?
So
That's fantastic.
yeah, no, that was it. Just
That's
get
gym?
ripped. Yeah,
Okay, just get jacked.
So the cliche one. All right.
yeah, the cliche one.
And that you've had it.
Well, let's. I've just thought of this on the fly. Let's start a new tradition. Whenever you have a guest, do you want to sign us off, Luke? And or am I putting you on the spot here? Anything you want to say is like final words? Plug anything? That camera.
So I do have my own music.
That's hot ones.
Called Key of Evergreen. Some synth pop stuff, kind of similar to the Sometimes Alan stuff.
Not as good though.
And then I got a new hardcore project that's gonna be coming out this year called Body Check. Be on the lookout for that. Heavy shit. Love it. Get ready to fight someone in your own room.
We will put up your business facing contact info for anybody who wants to. Luke is amazing at mixing stuff.
Yeah,
he's amazing at anything involving music and sound editing. So we can put your info up there so people can.
Just not my phone number.
Just not your phone number. Just what do you want us to put? Your fax number?
Yeah.
Your beeper?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll put your beeper. You can beep him.
Yeah, you can find my pigeon at this address.
Like an actual carrier.
We'll send
Nice.
send his routing and account number on there too.
Yeah.
If you want to wire him money or steal it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys my social security number also.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke that we were gonna post your social security number.
You'll see here at the bottom of the video.
Yeah, it's scrolling. It's been scrolling across the entire time.
My mother's maiden name is
Like, call 1-800 whatever.
mother's maiden name is blank, and
Yeah. We have this is a very new podcast still, so we're still developing our traditions, but I like trying to lean into new ones.
Yeah, that was terrible. So we'll probably never do that ever again.
Yeah.
Good job, Luke.
I mean I was plugging like you said to do it.
Okay, that was fantastic.
You know what we should have done? We should have gotten like a gallon of ice cream and just like hand it to Luke and just watch him eat the entire thing. And then
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
We should make him plug something while he's eating ice cream.
that's a good idea too.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna end it this way. Fuck you guys.
All right, I like it.
Bye.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.